Most people wake up every single day believing they have time to figure things out, time to fix mistakes, time to finally start, time to grow into the person they imagine they could become one day. They believe tomorrow is guaranteed. They believe opportunities wait patiently. They believe life will slow down when they're ready. But what no one ever tells you is this: life is not waiting, not even for a second. It is moving forward with or without your permission. And while you're busy planning, doubting yourself, hesitating, overthinking, and comparing your path to everyone else's highlight reel, invisible forces are shaping your future in the background, not randomly, not emotionally, not based on how you feel today, but through stages, fixed stages, stages that every human being must pass through, no matter where they come from or what they believe. And here's the uncomfortable truth: your success, your growth, your confidence, and even your inner peace are decided by how long you remain stuck in each one. Today, you're going to understand the 4 unavoidable stages of life that determine everything you become. And once you recognize where you are, you'll realize your struggles were never pointless. They were preparation. They were shaping you for what comes next. Life almost always begins in unconscious imitation. Long before you ever make a single decision for yourself, the world decides for you. You inherit beliefs you never chose. You absorb fears that were never yours to carry. You learn limits before you ever learn possibilities. As a child, you're taught how to behave, not how to think, how to obey, not how to question. You're rewarded for staying quiet, fitting in, following rules, and not rocking the boat. Slowly, subtly, without realizing it, you begin building an identity based on approval. Approval from parents, from teachers, from friends, from society, from culture, from traditions that were created long before you existed. This stage feels safe, it feels predictable, it feels comfortable, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. In this stage, most people confuse activity with progress. They stay busy but directionless. Their schedules are full, but their purpose is empty. They work hard, but without clarity. They follow paths that look respectable on the outside, but feel hollow on the inside. They wait for motivation instead of building discipline. They chase happiness without understanding meaning. They keep saying, "One day I'll start," not realizing one day quietly turns into years. And because nothing feels painful enough to force change, they stay. Years pass, opportunities fade, energy declines, potential goes to sleep, and deep inside, there's a quiet discomfort they can't explain. A persistent feeling that they're meant for more, capable of more, but somehow trapped in a life they never consciously chose. Eventually, life intervenes. Because growth does not ask for permission, it does not wait for comfort. It arrives through disruption. A failure that humbles you, a rejection that stings, a loss that shakes you, a financial collapse, a relationship ending, a moment where the old way of living no longer works. This is the second stage, the stage of resistance and struggle. And this is where most people break. Suddenly, everything feels heavy, everything feels uncertain, confidence disappears, certainty vanishes. The rules you believed governed success stop applying. You begin questioning your decisions, your abilities, your intelligence, your worth. You replay mistakes, you doubt yourself late at night. And because pain feels unfamiliar, you assume something has gone wrong, but nothing has gone wrong. This stage is not punishment, it is awakening. Here, life strips away illusion. It exposes weaknesses you ignored, habits you avoided, skills you never bothered to build. You realize talent means nothing without consistency. Motivation means nothing without action. Dreams mean nothing without execution. And this realization hurts. It hurts because it removes excuses. It forces responsibility. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for rescue. No more hiding behind comfort. You are face to face with yourself. This is where most people quit, not because they lack ability, but because progress feels invisible. Effort feels unrewarded. Improvement feels slow. Comparison becomes unbearable. They look at others and assume they are behind, without seeing the years of unseen struggle behind those results. They mistake delayed results for failure. But those who endure this stage begin changing internally, long before anything changes externally. They stop chasing comfort and start chasing competence. They accept discomfort as the price of growth. They learn that when motivation disappears, discipline must take its place. They understand that consistency beats intensity, that showing up imperfectly beats waiting perfectly. And slowly, almost invisibly, their identity begins to shift. This leads into the third stage, the stage of ownership and alignment. This is where growth compounds, where effort starts making sense, where actions align with values. You stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" You take responsibility not just for results, but for habits. Not just for goals, but for systems. You stop relying on feelings and start relying on structure. In this stage, you no longer wait to feel ready. You act ready. You build routines even when inspiration is gone. You protect your time like it matters because now you understand it does. You say no to distractions that once controlled you. You stop explaining your vision to people committed to misunderstanding it. You begin thinking in years instead of days. You accept delayed gratification. You willingly trade short-term pleasure for long-term respect. And something powerful happens here. Confidence returns, but this time it's earned, not borrowed from others' opinions. Not imagined, earned through repetition, through discipline, through showing up when it's boring, through staying consistent when no one is watching. Results appear quietly, then consistently, then undeniably. People call it luck, overnight success, natural talent. But they didn't see the mornings you showed up exhausted, the nights you kept going while others chose comfort, the internal battles you won silently, and by now, validation no longer controls you. Because your identity is stable, your direction is clear, you trust yourself. But there is one final stage, one that determines whether success feels empty or fulfilling. This is the stage of contribution and legacy, and very few reach it consciously. In this stage, growth is no longer about proving anything. It's about giving something. You stop measuring success by how much you accumulate and start measuring it by how much you impact. Your focus shifts from ego to service, from status to significance. You understand that fulfillment doesn't come from achieving more, it comes from helping others rise using what you've learned. Here, your struggles gain meaning. Your failures become lessons you pass forward. Your pain becomes wisdom. Your success becomes a tool, not a trophy. You build not just for yourself, but for something bigger than you. And ironically, this is where abundance multiplies the most. Because contribution creates influence. Influence creates opportunity. And opportunity creates lasting success. These 4 stages are unavoidable. You cannot skip them, you cannot rush them, but you can recognize them. And recognition changes everything. Because once you know where you are, you stop fighting the process. You stop blaming yourself for discomfort that was designed to shape you. And you start moving with intention instead of confusion. If you feel lost, you're not failing, you're transitioning. If things feel hard, you're not weak, you're growing. And if progress feels slow, remember this. Roots grow in darkness long before anything breaks the surface. Life is not testing you to see if you're worthy, it's training you to see if you're ready.